Alright guys, we're going to try this again. I had to end the last video because frankly, it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. So, I ended it and here I am again to go ahead and do our 7-day of credit. We're on day 6 and I am officially doing a recap for those of you who may have missed a couple of the days. I have something special for you guys too, so I can't wait to share, but I'm gonna wait till some of y'all get in here. When you come in the group, please share this live. Make sure that you're sharing it out. Remember, I'm going to answer questions according to how you share. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to answer questions according to how the video gets shared, so just keep that in mind as we are all listening. You want to make sure that we are sharing information. Hey Brian, how are you? With everybody we get a chance to share with, because it's not all the time that you guys get free information. So because this series is free, we want to make sure we get it out to everybody we can. Hey Raven, how you doing? Share the live, everybody. So here we are on day 6, right? I'm trying to find it on my page so I can share it myself in a couple of groups that I'm in. And then once I share it, then I'll get started. All right, here we go. So one thing I want to let you guys know is I am at home, so you are going to hear some background noise. I hope it doesn't disturb anybody. But if it does, there's nothing I can do about that because a lot of people are at home right now. Also, you may see people walking in the background behind me. My son is over here like he always is, playing his game, making his money or whatever he calls himself doing. I don't worry about it as long as it's legal. And you'll see other people just kind of walking through. You probably hear my daughter in the background along with everybody else that might be running their yap at the time. So just wanted to get those things out of the way. If you come in the room, please do me a huge favor and share the live. If you have questions about any of the information that I go over today, then drop those questions in the comment and I'm going to be sure to answer those questions for you so we can all make sure that we get an opportunity to have our specific questions answered. JC wants to say hi, JC.
Hi. Sorry about the noise.
So she got her 2 seconds of fame. She wanted to come on for everybody to say hello. All right, now one thing, let me tell y'all something. I was sitting here, here it goes. Look at God showing up in the clutch. I was sitting here looking for my notes on one of these particular days and I could not find the notes. I said, well, we're just gonna go without it because I know the information anyways, but I did share a couple things with you guys that I wanted to have notes, for you so I wouldn't forget. And I couldn't find it, but I just found it as I'm on the video. So I'm good to go. Let's get it. Hey Shaquilla, thanks for coming in. Share the live, invite your followers to join us so we can all get our credit together. Right? We get together. We're not going to leave anybody behind. So the last 5 days, I have basically broken down the credit score for you all. Day 1, I did a credit basics, and in that particular live, I shared with you guys what exactly credit repair companies do. I shared what we don't do. I shared how we are able to help you guys. Outside of what you can do for yourself, the live is still available on my page. I'm not sure if I'm going to be leaving these lives up, but for right now, they're all available on my page and on YouTube. Some of them may be available on IG, but they're there. They're floating around in the social world. So if you missed a day or missed a couple days, take some time out of your schedule and go back and review them. They shouldn't be more than an hour for each one. Hey Nicole, thanks for coming in. Each one is not more than an hour. So you're talking about a total of 6, maybe 7 hours of your life that's really going to help to elevate your thinking. Every time I get on live, somebody tries to call me as if they can't see that I'm live, right? I'm live right now. Don't call me, tune in, right? Just tune in. Okay, so that was day one. We did the basics of credit. Day two, we talked about the biggest part of your credit score, and that, for everybody, in case you didn't know, that is that 35%, which is 192.5 points. That was your payment history, right? Your payment history, and how you guys, let me see, was it payment history? It was not utilization. Let's see. I got a stack right here in front of me. So let me clear off this out of the way. I believe we talked about that on day one, if I'm not mistaken. If we didn't, I'm about to tell you in just a second. Then I'm going to answer a question I know a lot of people are trying to figure out and wonder about. All right. On day one, yes, we talked about payment history. Okay, so we covered the biggest part of your credit, payment history, day one. We talked about that being 192.5 of your points. If you didn't know that, then you learned it on day two. You learned it, and now you're getting it again on day 6, right? So we talked about the fact that your payment history is affected by how you pay your credit cards, how you pay your installment loans, how you pay your mortgage, and how you pay student loans. Pretty much anything and everything that you give your Social Security for and you're paying a bill on, that's what goes into your payment history. So every time you give those digits, it's affecting you. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Ron. Thanks for tuning in. Every single time you whip that number out, it's an effect on the way your credit looks, right? So we want to be careful with how we handle giving out our social, because we know that it's going to have an effect on us. And that particular day, I equated it to your bank account, right? Your debit card. If any one of you on this live wanted something, and I said to you, hey, let me have your debit card, without a reason, without any rhyme, reason, form, fashion. I said, hey, hey, Ron, can I get your bank account number? Can I get your debit card number? What is your answer going to be? Matter of fact, Nicole, hey, can you shoot me your debit card number real quick across this live? Brian, can you give me yours? Raven, just pull out whatever debit or credit card you have. Pull it out and go ahead and let me have it so I can take care of a couple things I need to take care of. What is your answer going to be to me if I ask that question? That's what I want to know. If I ask you guys to drop your debit card, and Brian said, yeah, okay, negative, Ron, I hear you, negative, right? Who's going to give it to me? Wait on it, Brian. I'm not going to hold my breath, okay? Because I know that chances are 10 out of 10, you're going to look at me crazy, side-eye me. Then you're going to turn around and say, this girl asked me for my debit card number. That's the same way I want you to handle your Social Security number. When you go somewhere and they ask you what's your social, I want you to have that same type of protection and coverage of your social, right? The same way you wouldn't just issue out your debit card number, don't issue out your Social Security number. We have to guard it like we guard our lives, right? Nicole said, nah, sis, not today, not tomorrow, not ever, right? Yeah, it just doesn't work like that. So that's what I want you guys to understand, especially when we're talking about how large this particular part of your credit score is. Guys, again, I'm at home. You're going to hear a bunch of racket in the background. If it becomes an issue, just let me know. And y'all might have to see me like put the smackdown down in this house on the live, right? Okay, so we talked about getting late payments and how it can affect your payment history. And I reminded you guys, or informed you guys, that even one late could be extremely detrimental to your credit. Even one 30-day late, right? So we don't want to get any lates if we can help it. But one 30-day late, it could have an impact of anywhere from 60 to 110 points. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But that's the general range of 60 to 110 points, depending upon how thick or thin your credit profile is. That's going to determine the weight of that one late. And a lot of times people just don't know, like they just don't know what the impact is going to be until it hits them. Don't take that chance. If at all you can help it, then help it, right? I have seen so many people that will get a 30-day late because they couldn't pay $25 on their credit card bill. Guys, listen, if that's what it comes down to, put your pride to the side and ask somebody for $25. Whatever you do, just don't miss that bill payments and get a 30-day late, because the impact of that late is going to be so significant on your credit, you just don't want it. And for us, as you know, in the industry, it makes the work that much more difficult. Now, you have 30 days, 60 day, 90 day, 120 day, 180, 150, whatever. It goes all the way up until you get a charge off. The very worst of the worst is a charge off. It has the longest impact on your credit. It has the heaviest weight. You don't want to get to that point. And, I believe that kind of happens when a few things happen, like either a person is out of work. I got thrown for a second. Somebody is out of work and they just simply can't pay. Maybe it's too much. They have too many obligations on them at one time and they have no way of doing it. Sometimes people will get overwhelmed and they just shut down completely. They make a decision, I'm not paying anything. And I know this because a lot of times I get clients that will come in and they come in to me when they have already stopped paying everything. That's a lot of times when people make a decision that, hey, I need credit repair. But I want to caution you guys on something. Do not stop paying your bills and think that I'm going to go get credit repair. That's not the way it works. As a matter of fact, for my company, that's one of the contingencies. You have to be in good standing or not in a position where you can't pay your bills. And the reason is I don't want you to have to make a decision between paying for credit repair services, paying my company, or paying your light bill, gas bill, water bill. I don't want that to be a decision that you have to make. I need you to be current on your bills, not be in financial strain, and know that you can manage your bills because we don't want to late. Plus, you can manage getting your credit repaired and having a company to do it for you. So on day 2, I told you guys what to do when you get a late payment. And the number one thing I said to do was call Savvy Credit Consultants, right? Call my office. Call me. If you get a late, if you have 60 days, a charge off, call me. We will be more than happy to handle it for you. If that's just not something that you are comfortable doing, and I say that because a lot of people have been burned in the credit repair industry. Sometimes it's not even yourself. You've just heard these stories of how people in the industry have taken advantage of other people. If I can't help you, I know thousands, literally, of other businesses that are reputable, that are in this country that can help you. So if it's something that I can't handle, I can direct you to somebody who I feel, they can do a better job. And as a matter of fact, I have redirected a couple of people for a few different reasons. One, I felt like their situation might have been heavier than what I wanted to take on at the time. Two, I may have felt like I may not be able to collect my money from this person, so I'm going to send them to somebody who is not going to play with them. And I say that because I have a soft heart when I hear stories of why people can't pay, but I know that a laborer is worthy of their hire, right? So I might send you on to somebody who is not going to play with you when it comes to collecting their money. Or it could just be a case of, I feel like the relationship that we may have is too important and I don't want to risk that relationship behind a client. So sometimes if I feel I'm too close to a person, then I may refer them to somebody else to handle their file, right? There's a saying that goes with that, but I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. It may not be appropriate for the live. But basically, there are certain places that you eat and you don't do other things at those places. Okay, if you don't want to call me, then I have a DIY guide that is available to you guys. It has been available for the last week and a half. It officially comes out on the 4th. So if you need the DIY guide, I'll make sure that you get a link for that particular guide. And I actually have a live course that is a full course that's coming up to teach you how to repair your credit. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for coming in. Share the video. Make sure you share the live, right? I have a course that's coming up that's going to teach you how to do your own credit, right? I'm going to break it down to the bare minimums for you guys so you can walk away feeling confident, feeling secure, feeling sure of yourself that, hey, you know, I can do this, because I would never tell anybody they can't do what I do. Okay, so another thing we talked about is on day 3, we talked about the utilization. 1 second. Okay, I had to sneeze. I know y'all probably looking like, did she sneeze? Did we hear anything? When I sneeze, you don't hear anything, and it literally takes that long. So I just like sneezed, and nobody knows because I covered the camera. But anyways, we talked about utilization being 30% of your score. That is 165 points. We covered this on day 3. Now, I want you guys to know that credit repair and how you manage your credit is not a gimmick, right? I talked about the rates or the ratios. I let you guys know that utilization really is the amount of credit you have used divided by the amount of credit that is available. JC. Okay. Y'all. I don't know if y'all heard my daughter in the background, but she busts through the bedroom door and say, y'all need to shut your mouths right now. But anyways, so your utilization is comprised of how much credit you have used divided by how much credit you have available. And you're going to bring in the number of cards that you have. We talked about that. Okay, so let me show you guys my little chart or my little formula here. I showed this to you on day 3. See, credit used divided by credit available. If you have, it's how much you owe versus what your limit is. If you have $1,000 card and you use $500, or you owe $1,000 and your limit, if you've used $1,000 but you had $500, then you're at a 50% utilization, right? I think I have that backwards. Hold on. This might be my other paper. You had $1,000 limit and you've used $500. Then you're at 50%. Okay? Let me fix that for you guys. You have $1,000 limit, you use $500, you're at a 50% utilization. All right, so that was day 3. Let's see here. Then I told you guys about the percentages when it comes to utilization. And here's the trusty old chart I showed you guys on that particular day. So excellent credit typically uses up to 9% of their credit. If you want to have excellent credit and maintain excellent credit and your cards are used up to 50 to 74%, that's considered poor. That's not considered excellent. If you're using 30 to 49%, that's considered fair. That is absolutely not excellent. Hey, Stanley, thanks for coming in. Hey, Monica. Hey, Frederick, how are you? Hi, Tony, thanks for coming in. So, guys, basically, if you want to maintain an excellent utilization, you want to keep those cards paid down to 0 to 9%. Now, when it comes to my particular clients, I recommend that they do anywhere from 1 to 3%. Sometimes people want to know, well, can we not pay our cards off from month to month? You absolutely can. And the benefit of that is you're going to save the interest, right? You're not going to pay interest if you're paying your card off month to month. But if you want to show a lender that you can manage month to month and carry a balance month to month, then 1 to 3% is typically the balance that you want to carry. All right. So then I came back and I talked to you guys about your payment opportunities, right? And I shared with you guys that if you have one credit card, that's 12 payment opportunities that you have. 12 times that a payment can be made over the course of a year with one card. The way to increase your utilization, well, bring it up, the percentage up, is by adding in more payment opportunities. So that means you would get more cards. If you hold those over the course of 5 years, instead of having only 12 payment opportunities over 5 years, which is a total of 40, now you would be having 300 total, because you'll add an additional 48 per year per card, right, per year. So you want to make sure that when you're looking at how many times am I going to be able to pay, if you're thinking about late payments, it has less impact if you have 300 times you could have paid on time and you missed one, as opposed to I had only 12 times I could have paid on time and I missed one, okay? So you add more credit, and that's going to be the thing to jumpstart and get you guys a boost significantly. All right. Let's see. What else did we talk about? I gave you guys some tips and tactics on how you can set up managing multiple cards. I'm not going to recap that today because this entire video today is a recap of everything, but I'm not going to recap that specific information. So you have to go back and watch day 3 in order to get that information. Then we talked about the length of your credit, the age of your credit, right? And I let you guys know that the age of your credit is actually 15% of your score, right? Your credit age equals 15% of your score, okay? With that 15%, remember, we don't want to leave any points on the table, just like we don't want to leave any money on the table. So if you're trying to maximize your credit score, you want to make sure you're tapping into every single part of your credit score. Not just the payment history, not just the utilization, but the payment history, the utilization, the credit age, the inquiries, and the mix of credit. And we're going to discuss each one of those briefly today. So for your credit age, is not determined by the years that you have had credit, not just the years you've had credit, but it's calculated by how many cards you have as well. And that's where I showed you guys how to determine your age of credit. So here are our cards. We have the Visa, American Express, Master, and Discover card. If you had a Visa for 2 years, an American Express for 5 years, a MasterCard for 1 month, and a Discover card for 9 months, the age of your credit is showing 7 years and 10 months. But when you divide it, sorry guys, I had a message pop up. When you divide it, it's going to show that when you added in that 1 month card, it had a significant impact on your credit age, right? You divide it by these, and then you end up with 1.7 months as opposed to 7 years and 10 months. How did that happen? Because you had a number of cards that you added them up, you took the average and divided it by the number of cards that you have. All right. We talked about the foundation of 5 and when a person can or should get started with credit. And honestly, it's as quickly as you possibly can, right? So the foundation of 5, I gave you guys 5 suggested cards that you can get. Those 5 were your secured card, your rewards bearing card, a points card, a cash back card, and maybe another card you want to throw in there, an unsecured card, okay? But the rewards, the points, the cash back, those are probably unsecured as well. So you just want to add in a 5th card that's going to help build your foundation, okay? It's called the foundation of 5. And these cards, you want them to have no annual fees. You don't want cards that have a ton of fees on it or any fees if you can help it. Why? Because you're less likely to have to cancel that card in a hard time. You don't want to be paying a fee. So if you don't have to pay a fee for it, you don't have to cancel it. You can just keep the card and keep the history that you built up on that card. I gave you guys a trick to add history. If you want to know what that trick is, I'm not going to tell you again today. But I will tell you it's in the video, and it's also going to be in the class that we're going to be having in another week. Then we talked about inquiries. Now, we talked about inquiries 2 days ago. That is 10% of your total score, or 55 points. I let you guys know that those inquiries can be the difference between a 650 and a 705. So you don't want to ignore your inquiries. Neither do you want to ignore having a mix of credit, right? Because both of those are 55 points. That's 110 points altogether that you don't want to leave on the table, okay? So inquiries in particular could affect your credit score anywhere from 1 to 5 points, but it could also be more significant if your age of credit is changed by getting that inquiry and getting that new account. So you want to be careful and just kind of calculate everything and be strategic about how you're applying for credit and when you're applying for credit. I also let you guys know that when a lender or a bank or anybody, a lender, is looking at your credit, typically if they see 6 to 8 inquiries on your account, that could be a cause for alarm for them, and they may decide to deny you just based on the fact that it seems like you're having your score ran, quite often. You may be searching for credit. You may be in a desperate situation. People who have excellent credit, they're not pulling their credit that often, okay? So you want to be careful when you're giving that social out and applying for things, because believe me, that can be a reason that you get denied for something that you're otherwise qualified for. Okay, so you can get denied for having too many inquiries. Inquiries stay on your report for 2 years, a total of 24 months, but their impact is greatest in the last 12 months, right? They stay on for 2 years, but they have the greatest impact from the last 12 months, okay? I explained the difference between inquiries to you guys, and I also gave you guys some special tips on how to remove those. A couple of you have taken advantage of the giveaway that I had on that particular day. That's going to go out to you all today if you took advantage of getting that giveaway, which was the inquiry letter and a special tool that I use to help push inquiries off your report. So you'll get access to that today if you signed up for it on that particular day. Okay. And I gave you guys reasons you can have inquiries. I'm going to just give you a few of those reasons that I covered, tell you whether they're soft hits or hard hits, and then if you want to get the full reasons, you will have to go back and view the other videos, or you can join us in the class that's coming up next weekend. So, reasons you could get inquiries could be for marketing purposes. We've all received those letters in the mail that say you've been pre-approved or pre-selected. That's marketing. And they've probably pulled a soft hit on your credit just to see, can they make an offer to you? Excuse me, guys. Another reason could be employment. If you're seeking a job, an employer could decide, let me check this person's credit to see if they're reliable, see if they're trustworthy, see if they can manage their money, especially when it comes to jobs that are in the financial industry or in the banking industry. They want to know, can they trust you with their money and with other people's money, right? So that could be a reason you get an inquiry on your report. If it's for an employment position, then it's a soft hit on your credit. If it's a hard hit, that's typically when you have applied for something, you're seeking credit, you're going to get a hard hit on your credit. That's a hard inquiry. Or it could be court ordered, right? You may have something that comes against you and they're putting a judgment on you and maybe trying to garnish your wages. So they could probably do an inquiry, right? And that will give you a hard hit. So those are just 3 of the reasons. I mentioned 11 that particular day. I'll give you the 4th one that I said. And the last one, I'm sorry, I'll give you a 4th one. But the last one I covered on the inquiry day, and that was relationships. And I let you guys know that you could be getting ready to link up with somebody and you decide, I probably want to check their credit. Because guess what? How somebody manages their money, believe it or not, will tell you, how trustworthy that person is. Are they honorable? Are they handling their money? Hey, Xavier, thanks for joining us. Hey, darling, thanks for coming in. Hi, Stanley, thanks for coming in. So, yeah, you may want to run a check on somebody to make sure that, they know how to handle their money, especially if you're handling your money. If you're in the point in your life where you decide, I think I'm going to get my whole life together. I'm going to get my finance together, get my credit up. It would behoove you to make sure that who you're linking up with and who you're pairing with has good credit as well. Now, I'm not saying in a relationship over it, but what I am saying is have tough conversations, because tough conversations need to be had, especially if you're going to pool your resources. Okay? And the very last day we did was your mix of credit, right? I gave you guys, I showed you guys a tool that I use when it comes to my particular clients, so I can just track their mix of credit. It's the Savvy Credit Clients Mix of Credit chart. And so this is the mix of credit. We have a mix of revolving accounts, installment accounts, service accounts, which are your utility bills, right? Secured cards, and also unsecured cards. So those were 5 different types of credit that I covered with you guys that will help you get access to that 10% or those 55 points. Again, they were revolving credit, installment credit, service credit, secured credit, and unsecured credit. Now, if you want to know exactly what is revolving credit, what's considered revolving credit, then join me in the next week's class, where I'm going to break down everything for you, give you more information than you've got in the last 5 days, where we broke down the score, and help you learn how to repair your own credit. Okay, so in addition to this chart, I just kind of showed you guys this. You can screenshot it and make your own if you want. Or you can drop your email to me and I'll make sure that you get a copy of this. Actually, I'll give you guys a link that you can just access this particular chart. Hey, Wendy, thanks for coming in. Okay, hey, Tasha, thanks for joining us. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? So listen, I'll make sure that you guys get that. I'll leave a link so you can have access to that particular chart as well. And you can make sure that you begin to track not only the way you're handling your credit, not only tracking your utilization, tracking your payment history, but also you're tracking, the types of credit that you have, so you can know, okay, I have this part covered, I have that part covered, I have each part covered, so I have a good mix of credit, right? It includes your mortgages, your car payments, all of that is included, right? I sure will, Xavier. If you guys have questions, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat box. I'll try to answer your questions. Share this live, because I want everybody to have access to the information, and I want to be able to, just touch people who may not otherwise know where to get information from or know where to get quality information from. Again, people don't like to talk about money. They don't like to talk about their credit. There's a stigma about credit, but I let you guys know that the only stigma with having bad credit is having bad credit and having access to resources and refusing to take the knowledge and take the resources and change your life. So I told you guys that I had something special I wanted to share with you all. I had something special I wanted to share with you all. So I released a class, a webinar class yesterday in the live, right? My kids are making candy in the kitchen, so y'all are gonna hear a lot of family noise. We did talk about medical bills, Xavier, and I'm going to cover that in the class that's coming up on the 11th. So I share with you guys that I have a new class. It's the very first ever Savvy E-class. It's a master class that's coming up. Now, yesterday when I posted this class, I told you guys that there was a range for the class that was anywhere from $67 to $107. However, I decided to do something extremely special for everybody who wants the knowledge. So if you guys want to know what this special is, then just go ahead and comment me in the comments so I can tell you. If you don't want to know, then I'm not going to waste the time to go over it. But if you want to know, then just comment me, and that's going to let me know how many people want to know what is special about this particular class. Let me see who wants to know. Thank you so much, Angela, for sharing. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you all. Whoever is sharing the video out, thank you so much for sharing. If you want to know, Crystal says she wants to know. Who else wants to know what I decided to do? Tasha wants to know. Let me see who else. Hey, Kamisha, thanks for coming in. Who else wants to know what decision I came to? I came to this decision like midnight, right? I was up. I hopped up out of my chair. I was watching movies. We were doing Netflix and chill with the kids, and it just hit me. I was watching one of my most favorite coaches, and I was like, you know what? I can do that. I'm in. Xavier said he wants to know. Hey, Monica. Monica says she definitely wants to know, right? So let me tell you guys, we have, about 4 or 5 people that want to know what I made a decision to do. So my very first e-masterclass is coming up next Saturday. It was going to be a 3-hour course that was a paid course from $67 to $107. But after much thought and deliberation, I decided that there are so many people right now who just simply want to know. They need information. They need quality information. And because I'm in a position to be able to share that information with you guys, I decided that I would do a free webinar for you guys, a 1-hour webinar where I'm going to go into details, give you information. If you want to participate in this webinar, I will be posting the link on this particular video thread and on my page. If you guys share the video, you will have access to that webinar for free. It's just that simple. There's no gimmicks. There's not a secret passage or anything where you're going to have to do anything secret. You're just going to get access to it. That particular webinar is next Saturday. I may do it twice, but for now, look at my son back there trying to flex in the camera, y'all. So for now, I'm going to be holding a 1-hour webinar on next Saturday, a free webinar where you guys can come in and get the information without an issue. There will be a replay for those of you who may be tied up, but I know a lot of people aren't going to be tied up because where y'all going anyway? We're supposed to be sheltered in place, not going anywhere, not doing anything, and social distancing. Like, that's why my kid is way over there. He's more than 6 feet away from me, right? Thank you so much, Xavier. Thank you so much. So yes, I'm going to post the link on this thread for the live webinar that I'm going to do. It's a teaching webinar, so make sure you're ready with your pen and your paper so you can learn all the tips, the tools, the resources, the tactics that I personally use, that I have used to raise my credit score over 700, close to 800, and that I also use for other clients across the board that are in a position now to get homes. I just had a client that got her mortgage approval, $300,000. I released her last week and said, go and be great. Go live the savvy life. Connected her with my lender. She got her approval and she is on her way to getting her home. The same thing happened with another couple just a couple of weeks ago. Actually, last week I released 4 people from the program. And so they're on their way, guys. If you want to be on your way, then you definitely want to tune in and find out what else is there to know. Because I assure you of one thing. These lives have been right around an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and then I do questions for you guys. Thank you so much, Xavier. You know what, Xavier? I appreciate it, but I really just want to do this, right? I just really want to give it to you guys. There may be other opportunities later, and I would just ask that you pay it forward at that time. But yes, these particular lives that I've been doing for the last 6 days or so, today and the other days, is to help you guys, right? They have, yes, I can inbox the link and I'll post it on this live as well. They've been an hour, less than an hour, right? But just know that there is no way that I have covered everything that you need to know and should know when it comes to your credit. I want to talk to you guys about the companies that you're fighting. I want to talk to you guys about how to track your finances, how to track your credit, how to make sure that the bureaus are not getting over on you, what to do when you don't get something removed. I want to share all that information with you. I want to share information with you on how you can almost guarantee a deletion, like almost, because we know nothing is guaranteed and Savvy doesn't make guarantees, but we do our best to work very hard on your behalf. That's okay, because there's going to be a replay. Even if you're working, still sign up, because if you sign up, then you get access to the replay, right? The replay will come to you. So guys, make sure that you're tuned in. Tomorrow, I'm going to go back over exactly what's going to be covered in that particular webinar. I'm going to be making another offer tomorrow. Each day of this particular series, the 7 days of credit, I have made offers and made things available to you all. If you go back through the messages, through the videos, you'll be able to see it. One particular day is on YouTube only. So you guys can follow the link. It's on my page to get to that particular day's lesson. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share, right? That's the biggest thing. We want to be able to share the knowledge and share the wealth. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tanya Edwards. I am the CEO and founder of Savvy Credit Consultants, where our main goal is to help you increase your scores across all 3 bureaus. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you next week. Let me see. I don't see any questions. Crystal, I'm going to make sure you get it. Make sure you sign up for the webinar, because again, if you sign up for the webinar, you get access to the replay. We're going to talk about medical bills in the webinar, Xavier. Let's see, who else? I think that was it. I didn't see any questions come across. Look at my other little one back there, y'all. Joshua, where are you? Where are you? Oh, he coming to the camera, front and center. You come and say hi, Josh.
Hello.
That's him. Oh, you got something to say? We talking about credit on here.
I don't have.
Y'all look, don't say nothing about this. Come here, Josh.
I got something to say.
Come here. Hold on. My nephew said he had something to say. This is the benefit of not going to school. Like, you cannot worry about haircuts, right? Can't get a haircut. And I'm halfway thinking about getting some clippers and doing it myself. My nephew wants to say something. Y'all, he is licking the beater. Listen, we from the country. Give me this. Let me show these people. We are from the country. And when my mom used to bake for us, we used to fight over the beater and the bowl and who was going to get it. The beater, the bowl, and the spoon, right? That's my niece over there. So it's social distancing, guys. Y'all too close. We need. Don't put that in your mouth like that. Okay.
Okay, I got something to say.
What do you want to say, Jordan?
Social distance.
What do you want to say? Come on, Z. What you want to say, Jordan, about credit?
Okay, so
This is Jordan. Get in the camera. They can't see you. Say hi.
hi, my name's Jordan. The thing about credit is that you can't just go around saying your credit card number or something.
Oh, you can't. That's true. We definitely don't want to do that. You can't go around saying your credit card number. Josh, you have something you want to say?
Don't use over $100 a day.
Oh. Josh, that is, why can't they use? What if they got $1 million? Can they use it?
No, because then they're going to lose credit score. And then they won't get as much money.
They're going to lose a part of their credit score?
Yeah, and they won't get as much money.
Okay, Zion, do you have something you want to say about credit?
Extra credit helped your grade.
Oh, Lord, she's talking about school and credit. Girl, we not.
Hole in my jacket.
That is not what we're talking about right now.
Credit cards.
So, hey, Toriano, thanks for joining us. So, guys, thank you again for tuning in. I think one day I'm going to do a live and let the kids teach you what they know about credit. They're playing right now But believe me, they know some stuff. And the reason they know it is because it's also my mission to make sure that kids have the information that I didn't have when I was a child, when I was growing up, and the information that we don't have access to in schools. During this break, my kids are learning all about credit and how to manage and maintain their money. They've been learning it for quite a while now, but I'm drilling it in this time. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I will see you guys in the webinar next week, and I also see you tomorrow on the last day of the 7 days of credit. Have a blessed rest of the day. Bye-bye.